Marina Granovskaia, of course, the person that brought Lukaku in, leaving at the end of the transfer window, but Todd Boehly very much hands-on at the moment, isn't he?
Yeah, this is a great story because he's just come in, he's very new to English football and he's already hands-on in this deal. He's going to look at it and think, hold on, you signed him for £100 million a year ago and I'm now dealing with him, the club you bought him from, to get him back on loan for about £8 to £10 million. It's terrible from Chelsea. It's been a terrible signing, maybe one of the worst. They've signed countless strikers in the Roman Abramovich era. He was brilliant for them in the early days, but this must rank as potentially the worst because given the figures. But it's very fascinating the way Boehly's going to work with Thomas Tuchel over the next few weeks. They do want a sporting director going forward, but I'll be fascinated to see what they can do in terms of their business over the next few weeks. I mean, it's late June now, but now with the pandemic allowing us to travel again, clubs last season, they did domestic friendlies. They're going to America in July, and I'll be going there with them to follow Chelsea and Arsenal's pre-season. They'll need signings. You know, we've just talked about Liverpool, the players they're bringing in. Manchester City have signed Haaland, Tottenham are doing business. They need to get going. Yeah,
I mean, it hasn't worked out, as you mentioned, with Lukaku. Granovskaia did bring him in. I mean, she's now going. This will be a big change for Chelsea, won't it, without her there at the helm doing all these transfers?
Yeah, she was in charge of the day-to-day running of Chelsea, all key decisions, transfer business, renegotiating contracts, all lay at her door. And this is completely new for them. And they do need a sporting director in. I know Atletico Madrid's Andrea Berta has been linked with that vacancy for quite a while. I think Chelsea will definitely look to put in a call to Michael Edwards, Liverpool's outgoing sporting director, to find out what his plans are and whether he'd at all be interested in assuming the role. But ultimately, you cannot have the owner being owner, chairman, sporting director, and you cannot have a manager. Managers, yes, should have a large say in transfer business, but you cannot have the manager like heavily involved when he's got to, you know, formulate a plan for pre-season, think of how tactically and on the pitch he can close that gap to Manchester City and Liverpool. I think he's already got so much to deal with, and you know, we know Tuchel is capable of many things. How he handled the whole takeover situation and the sanctions with Roman Abramovich was really good, but
he's a great ambassador for Chelsea, isn't he?
Yeah. Ultimately, though, you want a transfer specialist in to be handling these affairs.
You see yesterday when Arsenal signed Vieira from Porto, who's got the photo? It's not Mikel Arteta, it's Edu, their director of football. Fabio Paratici, Tottenham's director of football. George Campos has just joined PSG. They're desperate to be big in Europe. Good directors of football don't grow on trees, but they're so huge when it comes to transfer negotiations. You look at Thomas Tuchel, he's the ultimate on-field tactical coach. He won't want to be dealing with all these transfer situations.